Hi, this is Jim Tremaine from DJ Times Magazine here in New York City. And today we're reaching across the pond to Warsaw, Poland to talk with Marek Walaszek, a man of many talents and also the main manufacturer of the Bettermaker, which is a mastering limiter that we're working on a review of as we speak. And how you doing today, Marek? What's going on?
All good. All day in the studio, like I'm isolating from people.
You have to. That's the law, right?
Yeah, actually, yes. And from Tuesday, I will be obligated to wear a mask on the street.
Of course. So what is the general situation in Warsaw and Poland right now? Is it similar to the other European countries?
Yes, but we are in the development because we got the whole quarantine quite late. So some countries are planning to take off the quarantine, and right now we are going deeper into it. So we get restrictions day by day, and we will start wearing masks. Or we didn't do so earlier, and we just importing the medical stuff, and we are like 2-3 weeks after other countries in the development of the shutdown. Let's say it like that.
Right, but whether you're in quarantine or not, you would probably be in your studio anyway. Isn't that correct?
Yeah, not much change. The worst change I got, and I don't know if it's worse, but the most important change is that I have to take care of my kids, and I have to separate my time. So I have a little bit of a downtime. Of course, all the concerts or the gigs or the festivals are off. And I cannot meet with the artists in my studio, but basically 80% of my life I was working alone with artists from all around the world that basically didn't visit me. So that mindset stayed, and I'm not so frustrated by it that I can imagine other people are.
Sure. Let's talk a little bit about a Bettermaker. You're an inventor, manufacturer, and obviously a talented studio producer. Give our audience a little idea of what Bettermaker is and what advantages it gives a producer.
So Bettermaker was a piece of gear that I made actually for myself, because as we talked earlier, I'm sitting alone and working with people from all around the world. So I have many different projects on the table every day. So basically what I needed is something that would behave as a plugin, but would be a very high-class hardware unit, because I love analog sound. And at the end, I developed a unit that's basically a recallable, like a plug-in hardware unit that you connect to your DAW, and you can save your settings, you can automate it, and right now we have 4 different models to choose from, 2 different compressors, 1 equalizer, and 1 mastering limiter. So you basically high-class mastering chain that is recallable within your project, but it's 100% analog.
Right, but it works with the digital world, and so it really marries the old school studio approach with the new school digital studio approach.
Yes, that was exactly my point, because I was raised already in the DAW era, and I didn't had I had a mixing board and I knew how to use a mixing board, but it was like I never wanted one, because I knew how much maintenance it requires and how clumsy it is to recall a session. So I was on the break of hybrid mixing happening in the world, and the multi-channel interfaces were going down in prices. So I basically started off my career at the end of life of the analog and the start of digital. So that's why the marrying of the two it's my style of work, and that's why I understand what people need in these days also.
So your customer base is commercial studios and more, correct?
For Bettermaker, yes, it's mostly mastering studios, mixing studios, and right now there's a huge spike in producers that just want to hype up the sound at the end. I have, and especially in electronic music and pop, I like a lot of different producers coming by. Let's say from New York area, I have Just Blaze, I have Ken Lewis, to name like off the bat, just two people that did huge amounts of great music.
Right. We're doing a story on Jody Wisternoff right now from Way Out West group. And I just got his studio list of products, and Bettermaker was right there in the middle of it. So hip hop guys, rock guys, cinema guys, everybody uses Bettermaker in the commercial studios.
Yeah, I'm happy about that. You know, like I cannot complain. I'm just happy that my mindset really translated to so many people.
And necessity is the mother of invention, as they say. You made this for yourself because you're an artist, you're a producer, you're a DJ, you're a remixer. Talk a little bit about some of the music that you're making today.
I was very deep into hip hop when I started. Then I switched to like up-tempo electronics because of the boom for actually through trap, because the electronic type of trap happened in the world, and I was very fascinated by it because it married the down tempo with very aggressive electronics, and this was basically all me. And then I decided to go a little bit up tempo to some more dancey stuff. And right now I see that I'm really pivoting towards like the down tempo again, but I won't go down to the 70s, 60s of BPMs, but probably I will be doing something around 90 to 100, not like, let's say a little bit below twerk and not so electronic, but I want to marry that music, hip hop, let's say swing into electronics, and it will be done.
Yes, I remember you and I were having a conversation over a couple of adult beverages at the Melkweg Club in Amsterdam, and you explained to me that you were very much influenced by the horrorcore scene, but also the Wu-Tang Clan. How does a guy from Warsaw, Poland, become such a fan of the Wu-Tang Clan? And actually, you've done some work with them as well.
This happened basically by accident, but like accidents like that are like you have to select an accident for you. You know, I was very into hip hop when I was like a kid, and my father was traveling a lot, and he was bringing me CDs and LPs from many different countries randomly, actually. And one of the random LPs that I got was Enter the 36 Chambers. Mm. And I remember that for the first week, I couldn't go past the A side of the 4-side album because I was so fascinated with what I heard. And I started to collect everything that went out from Wu-Tang and from the all satellites, even up to California, like the Black Knights and stuff. And I just dreamed about working with them, and I started to try to make contact with them somehow. It wasn't so obvious as right now, as you can just click Instagram and just find your, you know, favorite rapper on it, and only the manager will be the gateway. But back in the days, the gates, there were many gates to force to talk with somebody like that. But fortunately, we have Wu-Tang has a very large fan base in Poland. So we had many opportunities to go for concerts. So I started to harass the concert managers and their roadies and stuff. And finally, I got to talk to some of them. And it turned out that sometimes when they were playing in Warsaw, they were recording in my place. Then I started to mixing stuff for them. And yeah, and it turns out that since 2004 till now, I did a lot of different stuff that happened in Wu-Tang under the radar.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. And also, it must have been quite a language barrier. I mean, Wu-Tang has their own language to begin with for those who speak English. English is your second or third language. How did that strike you at first? That must have been a whole new world they brought you into.
Well, I speak fluent Wu-Tang, so that's you know, uh, but I was yeah, more speaking Wu-Tang than English at some point when I was just sitting home and I didn't have many chances to learn normal American English. You know, I had just British English as from school and street English as from LPs that I was listening to. So that was mainly it, and I think a little bit stayed with me till today.
I can imagine. So let's get back into the studio a little bit. For DJs and producers who obviously have a lot of time on their hands right now, how would you recommend they best spend their time?
So we're starting off with DJs or producers?
Let's start with DJs.
Okay, so DJs, I think, first of all, skills. You know, like for a turntablist, there's no day off. It's like a sport. You have to be aware. If you're not a turntablist, then you can figure out many different ways to improve your transitions, to broaden your crate catalog, and dig through your crates. I'm digging through my crates all the time right now, and I'm talking virtual crates, not crates real crates anymore. And it changed the way I do my shows right now. That I do weekly.
You do a weekly radio show, just so everybody knows this.
Yeah. I have an Addicted to Music radio show that on many radio stations, mostly in the US actually, and it changed the way I pick my songs, because normally I was going, okay, let's do a bass house show today, and I was just going through all my favorite bass house tracks. I don't know, Joyride, Jaws, Johnny, whatever, and then and right now I'm listening to the music and just picking things that wouldn't possibly fit in one radio show or one DJ set. So I'm thinking more of a radio sets than DJ sets, because normally I would think like playing a radio set as I would be playing a DJ set. And right now I'm able to go a little bit more for a journey. So this is one of the things that you could explore, to mix genres, to find new ways to connect tracks, because it's still not a let's say a radio show that a song ends or starts and I talk over it. I'm still playing a set, but the set is thought of how to merge different genres and different tempos. And
it's a very different audience.
Probably, I don't know, because I have some audience, hopefully, and probably they will like it or not. But I don't think I'm jumping off a lot from what I was doing earlier.
So maybe some advice for a producer, someone who's making music these days with a lot more time on their hands.
This is a very hard thing, because basically it's an ideal situation for them. Just be locked down and with your laptop or with your or in the studio or instruments, and you can just do whatever. But the situation that you're surround yourself with, and you're surrounded, not even on purpose, but it's not appealing to do like music right now. Like I have a writer's block also, and I was thinking of, okay, I will have a quarantine. I will take home like my MIDI keyboard and stuff, my MTC, and I will just do a setup and I will just play around all day, because I cannot go out. And that it doesn't work that way, actually. I noticed that I have so many different small things to do that get me off focus today, that it's not possible just to shut down and do music. So I think the best way would be isolate within the isolation. So find like 2 or 3 hours a day that you do just this. Like, don't do anything in between. Just eat lunch, sit down, and just turn off your email, turn off your phone, and spend 3 hours with your music. That's I think the most important thing.
And find your inspiration somehow. That's also very important.
Well, if you will sit long enough and meditate on, and not go on Facebook and scroll through Instagram, but just sit down and look at your DAW and turn off your internet connection on purpose, you will get back to the same inspiration.
That's great. So thank you very much, Marek. Maro Music from Warsaw, Poland. We're looking forward to hanging out again with you, whether it's over here in the States or over in your area in Europe. Okay. Thanks so much for doing this.
Thanks a lot.
All right.
Stay safe.
You too.